Hello there YouTube and welcome to Just My Opinion UK. Today bringing you a video about the Omega SEAMASTER Professional 300 meter Divers Watch. The reference for this watch is 210324220030001. This is the 2018 release, the latest Omega SEAMASTER Professional that took over from the previous one, which was the caliber 2500 movement. The latest SEAMASTER, which you can see here, has the caliber 8800 movement, which is a self-winding coaxial escapement, certified master chronometer, approved by Metis, and it is resistant to magnetic fields reaching 15,000 Gauss. It's a free sprung balance with a silicon balance spring, automatic winding in both directions, rhodium plated finish, and it has a 55-hour power reserve. The Sapphire Crystal is a domed scratch resistant sapphire crystal with anti-reflective treatment on both sides. This particular model has the rubber strap. It's a blue dial, blue bezel, rotating bezel. It's a steel case. It's a 42mm. Like I said, was resistant to 300 meters. It features anti-magnetic chronometer, date, helium escapement valve, screw-in crown, transparent case back, unidirectional rotating bezel. That is the spec sheet for this watch. So, getting into the watch itself, many people have speculated that this watch is the Submariner killer. There has been, for a long time, the longest time, there has been a comparison between the Omega and the Rolex, the Omega SEAMASTER, the Rolex Submariner. Now, in the past, this has been a completely unfair match. The Omega lost the fight before it even got into the ring with the Rolex. Now, and I'll explain why. The previous model of Omega SEAMASTER Professional, which I actually reviewed a couple of years ago, it just isn't a fair comparison. The caliber 2500 is left wanting. It's not a straight-up fight. It's an old technology. Fair play, the Rolex Submariner is also using old technology in its movement, but the Omega SEAMASTER, it just wasn't up to the challenge of the Rolex Submariner. It just wasn't in the same league. The materials used, the comfort to wear, the dimensions, everything about it was just, it just didn't know what it was. The previous model just did not know what it was. It was an in-between, because on the previous model they did away with this wavy line on the dial. Now, that to me was a mistake that Omega made. The wavy dial, which you can see here on the dial itself, it is something that the Omega SEAMASTER Professional has had from its Brosnan days, when Pierce Brosnan wore it on the wrist in GoldenEye, which I believe was in 1995. Now, the Omega SEAMASTER has always had this wave dial effect, but they decided, when they went to a ceramic bezel, they decided to do away with the wave dial. Like I said, that in my opinion was a mistake, and it spoilt the watch. It took away an iconic part of the watch, and it is lovely to see that Omega have reintroduced it on the latest model. So you can see there, it's a unidirectional bezel, so it only goes the one way, which is anti-clockwise. Now, the reason for this is because it is there to time a diver's oxygen. It's to tell you how much oxygen you've got left in your tank. Not that many of us are actually diving with these watches. I come across people all the time who don't even dare get these watches wet. I personally wear them as tool watches. I do wear them on a daily basis for work, gym, home life, playing with the kids, going out for meals, doing whatever I'm doing. I will wear my watches. They're expensive watches. They are built to last, so therefore I will wear them. Most people, realistically, are desk divers. They'll pick up scratches, they'll pick up scuffs from wearing them at their desk at work. And I am, I'm a culprit for that. I don't go diving in this. I will go swimming in it. If I'm in a swimming pool, I will swim in these watches. But I can't say I'm a diver. The closest I get to diving is snorkeling. So this watch is a really, really beautifully finished. It's a lovely high gloss finish to the watch. The wavy dial is just superb, and I really, really like how they've finished the wave before the edge of the watch, which just, it almost frames it. It's lovely to see. Now, all the markers on the dial, they're all applied markers. You will notice that the Omega SEAMASTER Professional, that isn't applied anymore. It was on the previous model, and it has been on other models in the past, but on this one it isn't. We've kept the sword hands as tradition with the Omega SEAMASTER Professional. The date has now gone to the 6 o'clock position, as opposed to the 3 o'clock position, which its predecessor had. We've got the helium escapement valve at the 10 o'clock position as before, slightly altered and slightly shaped rather than it's gone to a bit more of a dome shape rather than just a square like it was before. Omega have now done it so that this is waterproof, so you can undo it underwater. It does beg the question why it's needed at all, but you know, to die-hard Omega SEAMASTER fans, it is something that they like to see, and if I'm honest, I do like to see it as well. I just think it's an Omega SEAMASTER. You know, you expect it to be on the watch. It's just iconic to the watch. So for that reason, I like to see it there. It's on this leather strap, this rubber strap, which is really, really nice, durable rubber. Really, really comfortable on the wrist. 42mm case, 20mm strap, lug to lug. So it sits really, really nice on the case, on the wrist. You've got this typical Omega. You've got this nice brushed finish with this highly polished, sort of like almost like a beveled edge. It's a lovely, lovely, lovely way to finish the watch. It just, again, it almost frames the watch somehow. It's just a lovely way how they've done it. How they've done the polishing here, but they've done the brush at the top and the brush at the sides. Just really, really nicely done. Screw down crown, as before. This one is a little bit easier to operate. Its predecessor was a little bit difficult to unscrew and screw down, so nice to see that Omega have tackled that and made it a little bit easier. We've got these, I think they call them a scalloped edge for the rotating bezel. A little bit tricky to use if you've got wet hands or if you've got sweaty hands. It is a little bit tricky to use, but you know, I've been used to wearing my Rolex Submariner for so long that, you know, anything is going to be difficult to use. The Rolex Submariner is second to none for its bezel movement, so you know, these scalloped edges are, in my opinion, again, they're iconic to the SEAMASTER Professional, but I don't think they're as practical as the Submariner. If you turn the watch over, you can see there, beautifully displayed, the caliber 8800. That's the master coaxial. You know, lovely decorated movement. It's not the most exciting. I have seen Omega decorate movements better. I've seen better movements to see, but you know, it's a lovely, lovely thing to behold. Omega have done a really, really nice job on this. I particularly like the way they've done this edging. They've kept the I mean, some people call it a wave, some people call it a scalloped edge. You know, how they've done that, you know, I just think it's a nice detail that they've done. You know, I like the fact that they've paid attention to the back of the watch as well as the front of the watch. For all of us watch nerds who like to see this type of thing, it is something that you can, you know, sit and look at and enjoy. Personally, I do quite like getting the eyeglass and looking in there and looking at all the details. It is, you know, Omega are fantastic at doing this. It's not something that Rolex do, but, you know, Omega do it, and they do a lovely job of it. So going back to the strap, you can see here that they've actually done almost, again, like a wave effect on the strap. Now, I've heard different opinions on this. People have said that they've done it as a wave effect for the SEAMASTER. Other people have said that they've done it to cut down on material, which makes the strap a bit more flexible, you know, a bit more comfortable on the wrist, which I have to agree, it does do that. It's very, very comfortable to wear. The buckle, the Omega buckle, which I understand are in very, very short demand. People are buying the rubber straps. People who have bought the SEAMASTER on the steel bracelet are now buying the rubber straps to, you know, add a bit of variation. And the buckles are in very, very short supply, and people aren't able to get them. So you can buy the strap itself, just not the buckle. Omega have got a backlog, and I understand that the reason for this is they didn't expect demand to be so high. When Omega launched this watch, I think they underpriced it. It was originally up at, I think it was 3,500 and odd. and it quickly went up to 3,900 on a steel bracelet. Omega, I think, quickly saw that the demand was huge and they'd underpriced their product. It was easily worth the 3,500 they were asking. This particular one, 3,720 on a rubber strap, 3,900 on a bracelet. I didn't pay that. I got a very, very good discount from my local authorised dealer through buying watches with them in the past, doing this channel, etc. So I actually paid £3,000 for this watch brand new, so I was doubly pleased with that. So, just leaving that watch there for the moment, I am going to bring in my Rolex Submariner. Now, the Rolex Submariner is, of course, the iconic dive watch. It's the watch that kicked the entire dive watch scene off. I've reviewed this watch to death. There's many reviews online for this watch. This is the Rolex Submariner 114060, classified as just the Submariner. It's not the date function, it's the no date version, so it is just the Rolex Submariner. I've had this watch about 3 years now, bought it brand new. You can see it's getting a bit beaten up here and there, but it's like I said before, they are tool watches. I use them as tools. You can see the bracelet's getting quite scuffed up there. It's the 904L stainless steel, which Rolex use. Now, I own both these watches. Both these watches are they're my property. I'm not paid to do these reviews. I'm not under the payroll of Omega or Rolex. And I have to say, the comparison between these two watches is incredibly, incredibly difficult. Can I choose a favourite? Yes, I can. The Rolex is my favourite because I've had it longer. I have a connection with this watch and I love this watch. But if you were to go purely on spec sheet alone, the SEAMASTER wins. The SEAMASTER is the better watch. Now, one other thing to bear in mind when you're looking at these two watches, the Rolex, if you're lucky enough to find one in an authorised dealer, snap it up, because these watches are selling for well over retail. Rolex are very, very difficult to get, whereas the Omega SEAMASTER, you can walk into your authorised dealer today and purchase it at retail, or if you have the right authorised dealer and you have the right way to deal with it, you will get a heavy discount on it. So you've got to decide on what you want to do. If you go for the Rolex, you are going to be on a waiting list for a period of time, or you pay over retail, which I do not recommend. Put yourself down on the waiting list and wait for your name to come up, and you'll get the phone call to say the watch is ready to collect. Or you go for the cheaper, the technologically better watch, in my opinion, the more attractive watch, and in some respects, the better build. It's, the Omega SEAMASTER is a superb piece of equipment, and if you buy one, you will not be disappointed. It is easily a comparable to the Submariner. Can I pick the better of the two? The answer is no, I can't. I cannot tell you which is the better watch. I prefer the Submariner simply because I've owned it for longer and I have a relationship with this watch, and I'll never sell it. The Omega SEAMASTER, as time goes on, I will gain a relationship with this watch, but between the two, if I was buying my first quality watch and I was looking at these two watches, I would probably go for the SEAMASTER because the price point, the spec sheet against the price point would lead me to buying the SEAMASTER. But seeing as though I own the pair, I've got to say there's nothing in them. There really isn't. Accuracy, they're both the same. Technology, I'd have to award it to the SEAMASTER, but I think the Submariner is the classic. So I guess it's a point of, buy what you can afford and buy whichever one you like the most. I did forget to do the wristwatch check at the beginning. I'm wearing the the Speedmaster Professional. This is the caliber 1861. This is the traditional Speedy, the certified one for the moon, certified one for NASA, worn by the different flight crews on different Apollo missions, famously landed on the moon on the wrist of Neil Armstrong. This is the Omega Speedmaster Professional. This is the one with the Hesalite glass. So this is one of my collection, one of my favourites in my collection actually. It's another all-time classic. So yes, I hope this video has helped you out. If you're looking at either of these watches, you cannot go wrong, but I would well recommend the Omega SEAMASTER. The Omega SEAMASTER does beg the question, why does Omega still need the Planet Ocean range? The Omega SEAMASTER is cheaper than the Planet Ocean, and it's aesthetically more pleasing, and it's at a better price point. So, you know, if you're looking at buying an Omega Planet Ocean, you know, stop what you're doing and look at the Omega SEAMASTER Professional. You know, don't rush into the Planet Ocean. Take a look at the SEAMASTER. The SEAMASTER does come in variations. There's, I think, 14 different variants. And I am led to believe that a chronograph is on the horizon, which I wouldn't be surprised if they don't put the chronograph in there. They'll have a GMT version at some point. There is currently the no-date version available, which is in a ceramic case, and it is significantly more expensive. So take a look, have a look at Omega's website. There's some stunning watches on there. If you're looking at Omega SEAMASTER or Rolex Submariner, I'm afraid I can't help you on that one. That is purely down to your personal preference. Pound for pound, they are very similar watches. If it's down to price, go for the Omega SEAMASTER. If you're wanting the all-time classic, go for the Submariner. If you're wanting to go for the technologically superior, go for the SEAMASTER. It's entirely up to you. It's, you know, there's nothing in them. They are both superb timepieces, and you will not be disappointed in either of them. Don't forget to check out my other videos. Subscribe to the channel. It would really help me out. Let me know what you think of this video. Let me know what your opinion is of these watches. But yeah, thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you again. Thank you for watching.